Sorry.
What? Uh-oh.
We're back. Ready to recap Game 3 of the NBA Finals as well as get to Game 4. I'm laughing just because before we start, I just want to shout out the Eaters, man. I got shout out the Eaters.
What? That's what you wanted to start with?
I got to, man. What's our guy doing, bro? I'm sorry. We're gonna get to the episode. I'm sorry. We're gonna get to the episode. What's your man Zion doing, bro? What's going on here, man?
I thought we were just talking about the NBA Finals. I thought we agreed we were focusing on the Miami Heat and the Denver Nuggets. I don't think they mentioned him on the broadcast here.
No,
to your
they
poll
didn't.
question.
They didn't.
But
how do you even address that on national TV like that? But
my God. What was it, Brian Windhorst? There's something going on in New Orleans.
There's something. There's something about it. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Hey man, Lavar tried to warn them, man. Lavar tried to warn them and let the folks know. Once you get to the league, man, it ain't gonna work out. You ain't gonna find that one that you really want. It's gonna end up going the other way, man.
Where you were going.
So I
thought we were talking hoops.
I had to just say a word, bro. This is ridiculous, bro. Did you see all that came out yesterday?
Oh, unfortunately, I did.
Oh my gosh, that draft class, John,
Miles Bridges, Zion, yeah.
that draft class, RJ keeps catching strays. They're like, Ja can't let go of the guns. Zion got buns. RJ's ass. Sorry.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
I've been cracking with that all day, bro. I'm sorry.
This back to the early days of second.
Let me get back on track. Let's get back on track. So now that that's done, Jesus. Game 3 of the NBA Finals went down, man. Let me take this off. Game 3 of the Finals went down, man. The Nuggets emphatically beat the Heat 109 to 94.
Mm-hmm.
Jokic had a triple-double, had 40 minutes, 30 points, 20 rebounds, 10 assists. Murray had a triple-double himself. They put on a masterclass in that game, holding off the Miami Heat, who people, as including ourselves, thought we're going to shift the energy of this series, but instead, the Nuggets got it right back, and definitely some interesting things here that I'm excited to talk about and get into. We're a few minutes in now, so you already know what it is, but thank y'all for tuning in again. Show love as you do, and let's go ahead and jump into it. Alex, what did you think of Game 3 as it went down the other day?
Yeah, it was not surprising that Denver came back with a vengeance after losing on their home floor. But I was a bit surprised at the outcome and how spread out it would be. If Denver won this game, I thought it was going to be a 1-2 possession game. But Jamal Murray came out and set the tone early with his offensive aggression. And Jokic, I mean, he does this on a nightly basis now. This is no surprise from Jokic.
Right.
And he was dominant once again. And they came out and really dominated from the start of the second half on, pulled away and didn't let go of the rope and came out with a double-digit win. So, yeah, I was a bit surprised with how big of a margin it was for a victory for the Nuggets. But I did expect them to take one in Miami. So, hopefully it is just one if you're rooting for the Heat. But, yeah. Yeah,
you got Shaq and Kobe 2.0 in your tag down there. You're going back to that extent and referring to Murray and Jokic while they're performing right now.
Yeah, I mean the counting stats actually favor Jokic and Murray over Kobe and Shaq. Obviously, you know, like you have to add context into there,
of course,
with the difference in eras, of course, and the pace of play. I still ultimately would take Kobe. Of course, I got the Kobe.
Yeah, come on now, be respectful.
I still would take Kobe and Shaq as an all-time duo. But if Jokic and Murray keep playing like this for several more seasons and put together a couple more finals runs and put together championship runs,
Yeah.
they will be discussed as one of the best duos to ever play this game. Obviously, it's early to say that, but they're having a Jokic individually having a historic playoff run, and Murray has been a playoff riser pretty much his entire NBA career. So if they keep this up on this trajectory, they're both still young. I believe Jokic is 28 and Murray's mid 20s too. So they have time and they have a nucleus and the head coach and the infrastructure to keep it going. So yeah, they could potentially be a Shaq and Kobe 2.0.
I can't go that far, but I do see what you're saying. Kobe, we've seen, has gone on to be one of, as some folks, myself included, admittedly, think is one of the greatest, if not the greatest players of all time, alongside Shaq, who was up there as well. Well, Jokic definitely could be on his way. I don't know if anybody considers Jamal Murray up there as one of the elite in that regard, though we do praise his playoff rises as he's been doing in the last couple of years. So we'll see how that plays. It's definitely interesting to see how things continue on with them. They got to win the series first, and we'll start there. I see where they could be in that trajectory. They definitely are in line, but they got to finish the job, as Kobe would say himself. So we'll see how that plays out. And yeah, definitely interesting to see how the rest of the series goes. I'm still rolling with the Heat. But yeah, we saw that. We talked about the counterpunch that the Heat could throw at Denver. Denver was able to withstand that and find their own punches to throw back at them and returned it valiantly. So yeah, great things to see there. And then going on with Denver, you talked about the dynamic duo over there. They have a whole team of guys. We talked about their depth and then all of that. We expected to see a bounce back game from Michael Porter Jr., but instead we got somebody else still in the show, and that was Christian Braun. He showed up, and
I believe it's Braun, by the way.
Braun. Oh, excuse me. And he was someone that's already been in rotation, and people have known that he is a quality talent, but he had a very impressive performance in this last game, having 15 points, 4 rebounds, and assists in 19 minutes. So definitely good stuff there. What do you think about his rise in this last game?
Yeah, it's actually been kind of like the last 2 games. He didn't have the scoring punch in the game previous, but he had some impactful minutes in the stretch he played in game 2 as well, and especially on the defensive side, just being active in the passing lanes and getting steals. He had a big steal in this last game, which led to a breakaway dunk. And yeah, he's been impressive, especially for a rookie. Obviously, he's got his own championship DNA from winning at Kansas in college. And so he came in with that level of preparation for the moment as well. But it's still impressive for a rookie at this stage. You don't really get many rookies playing significant minutes this deep into the postseason. So for him to be doing that at this level was impressive. In this last game, he's winning the battle of the white boys versus him and Duncan Robinson right now. So, yeah.
Definitely impressive to see from him. And then, as you mentioned, going to the other side, we talked about with the Nuggets. Everybody talked about, if you make Jokic be the main scorer there and shut down the others, that team is beatable. On the flip side, we saw that the same kind of gameplay can be applied to the Heat, and they can shut down their operation as well, where they had Jimmy Butler and they had Bam kind of doing their thing, but the rest of those guys on that squad, Gabe Vincent and Max Strus and Caleb Martin, all these other guys who had been very impressive throughout this whole run to get them to the finals, have not stepped up as fully hoped so far in this series. Caleb Martin has not been the almost MVP level guy that we saw last round. Gabe Vincent has had some flashes, but I think even the total last game, he only had like 7 points, and Max Strus only had 3. So yeah, definitely not the production that you want from them in order to get over the hump. And how do you think they fix that? And yeah, how do you think it can be resolved in order to win this series?
Yeah, I mean, I think in the playoffs and the finals, especially, it does ultimately come down to getting those impact performances from your role players, because you expect like the great performances out of your great players. Sometimes you're not going to get the ceiling games from them, but like you got from Jokic and Murray this past game. But you expect at a floor great play from them, and so you want your guys to fill in down the roster and provide you that extra spark, that extra whatever it is, the intangibles that getting you over the hump in these games, because it becomes kind of a war of attrition as series extend a bit as well too. And you're asking a lot of your main guys at the top. So you're going to need other guys to be productive, especially offensively, so that they don't have to carry the load so heavily every single game of a potentially 7-game series. And we see how important those role players are for the Miami Heat, because when they had a really great shooting performance in game 2, they were able to get over the hump and get the W. When they shot 50% from 3 this game, I believe they were mid 30% from 3. And let's see, Vincent and Strus combined 3 for 17, 2 of 10 from 3.
Right.
And I know Vincent got in early foul trouble, and that kind of knocked him off his rhythm because he had a good first 2 games. But yeah, they need these guys. Strus, once again, like they need him to make open shots. He was off once again. Martin was a little bit better in this game, but they would love to get some of the production they got from him against Boston, against Denver in this series. So yeah, it shows how important, while we praise Bam and Jimmy, of course, it shows how important that these role players are, and they're going to need them to shoot a high percentage in order to win the series.
Yeah, I asked last episode just about Denver not having more depth than the Heat, and the Heat turned around and all their depth just stopped showing up like I thought it would. So definitely gonna be interesting to see how they bounce back. But as we saw in Game 2 when the Heat won, when these guys are on, as you pointed out, it can change the whole series. So we'll see if they find their spot, and does their lack of production put more pressure on Tyler Herro to potentially come back for the rest of this series? And yeah, is he needed for Miami to win?
Yeah, I mean, it was, I guess, a little bit surprising that they were trying to bring him back for Game 3, and then once Game 3 came around, he wasn't available. So I don't know if they were to bring him back. It seems like they'd kind of be rushing him back, and I don't know if that's something that you want to do with your young, talented player like that, when in just the previous postseason, we saw him kind of get played off the floor, as I talked about before, defensively. Like, he can provide you an offensive spark. But kind of like Mike Malone said against the Lakers, like, you can't afford to play like specialists. So you can't afford to play a guy that's kind of going to be like their version of D'Lo, where if he's not providing the offense, he's hurting you on defense.
Right.
So I don't know if it's worth rushing back a player like that, where you're not 100% sure what you're going to get from him. You believe you can get some offense from him, but you're not 100% sure because he's coming off a major injury as well, too. I believe his shooting hand. So yeah, I hope they don't seek to rush him back because guys maybe aren't hitting their shots at as high a clip as they expected, because I think they can still get some more high quality shooting games out of Duncan Robinson, out of Gabe Vincent.
Right. Yes, there is room for the guys already in rotation to improve, and they we believe they will do so, as at least I have picked them to win the series still. But I will say that with this being the finals, that does change the equation a little bit, especially when you may not have, or at least outside of the building. I know all the Heat fans claim that they did. But outside of the building, they didn't maybe believe they would even get this far. To now be in the situation where you've already won a game and could see an avenue where you can get over the hump and potentially win this title, you want to put all your chips on the table. And if Tyler Herro's out there to even contribute, he doesn't keep coming in and play 30 minutes, of course, but you can just come in and give us 10 to 15 somewhere in there of some kind of production where these other guys aren't producing. It could change the tide. It could turn the tide for this series potentially. So I would say give it a look. I hear what you're saying about wanting to protect him, and my rebuttal is just, you don't just throw him all the way into the fire and play him all game long, but give him a little bit and see if he can produce. And if not, then you pull the plug from there. But with the Heat wanting to get this ring, and all these guys very, very emphatic about wanting to make this push. I say go for it, and we'll see if they do so. So interesting to watch there. And then what do you think about, as we've talked about the others now with the Heat, going back to those main guys you already kind of mentioned, what do you think about Jimmy and Bam's production so far?
I think Bam's been great. He was inefficient last game. I believe he was like 7 of 21. But he still had a great game on the boards. He's still competing defensively. It's just you're outmatched against Jokic, and that's not a slight to Bam. That's just everyone in the league has appeared to be outmatched. I mean, Jokic has gone through some of the best centers defensively in the league between AD, Bam, Gobert, Ayton. It's just been an impressive run from Jokic, and I don't think there's a whole lot more you could do individually defensively than Bam is doing. Like he's given the effort, and he's making them work. Jokic is just elite offensively and has great touch and great feel.
Right.
So I don't really think there's more you can ask of Bam. You would like him to be a little bit more efficient offensively, like he was in the first 2 games. But
Sure.
I mean, when you're giving so much effort defensively, you're not going to be expected to have 50% games every single night. With Jimmy, he was a little bit more aggressive, like we'd been asking for, offensively, looking for his own shot, and he did. I think he did hit that over that we were talking about too. But the other stats, the assists and the rebounds weren't really there, and part of that is guys missing 3-point shots, of course, but maybe a part of it too is him taking on the defensive assignment to guard Jamal Murray, which he did great in game 2 and slowing him down.
Right.
But I mean, maybe that takes a little bit of a toll because we saw with him being more aggressive offensively, then Jamal Murray also was able to get his 30, 10, and 10 on the other side with a triple-double. So maybe it's kind of a give and take there, and maybe you do want him to be more of a distributor. I just think even if he is being more of a distributor, I would like him to be looking for his shot first and not the pass first.
Right.
Because I think it puts more pressure on the defense that way. But they're going to need more out of him. He has been good, but they need him to be great in order to win the series. Going against a superstar in Jokic and a star in Jamal Murray, they're going to need Jimmy to be a superstar. Because Bam can't be that 35 a night guy, but you're gonna need Jimmy to do it. So
he set a pretty high bar for himself in these last couple of rounds, and he's gotten just to that bar in the last few games. But he has to get past that and really elevate in this series in order to get this team over the hump.
And I know he did get hurt too in the playoffs, but
he certainly is battling his injuries. He's hurt. He's hobbled a little bit quietly, and there have been other stories going on that we don't got fully delve into. But just knowing. Just seeing what's on the court, hopefully he has something in there to elevate and get the job done here, as you know he really wants to. So interesting things there, and we're just excited to see what's next in these finals. We talked about all the players. What do you think about just the coaching matchup and the schemes? I talked about the counter punches on both sides. What do you think of the adjustments made for both teams?
Yeah, it was. It seemed like Eric Spoelstra was like in pain a little bit, watching his guys get beat defensively and trying to figure out like what is the right combination that's going to be able to at least slow Jokic and Murray down, because they were dominant offensively, just picking them apart throughout the game. And credit to Murray too. Like I believe he's averaging close to 10 assists in this series. Like his playmaking has been sensational in this series, especially. And he's known more as a scorer, but his distributing has been great. There was a lot of that face and some pain faces from Spoelstra, and I do think he's still the better coach in the series, but Mike Malone's not a far drop down below him. He's one of the better coaches in the league as well.
Correct.
And he wants his respect. He wants the Nuggets. He wants the Nuggets respect. We've seen some of the clips of him mid-game or pre-game talking to his guys, seeking to galvanize the group, seeking to have them. A big point of emphasis for him before this last game was them finishing fourth quarters, because they've been playing great games through the first 2 games, and in both fourth quarters, while they were able to hold on in game 1, they kind of let go of the rope in the fourth quarter, and Miami was able to put together nice stretches and win game 2. So that was a point of emphasis, and I think they heard him and answered the call and were dominant throughout all 48. So he knows how to galvanize his guys. He's a good X's and O's guy as well. So it's been a great duel between these 2 head coaches for sure.
For sure. What would you think the adjustment needs to be made? As you already kind of alluded to, but just to act directly, what do you think? What adjustment could be made to get them over the hump in game 4?
Which Miami?
For Miami, yeah.
Adjustment being made. I mean, I think really like he's shown Jokic and Murray different looks with switching up the defenses mid game. I think guys have to be disciplined as far as not doubling off of shooters on Jokic, especially. Another adjustment, I really don't know that there's a whole lot else you could do. Like I said, like we're 3 games in, and we kind of like know like what these teams are. There's not a whole lot of other lineup adjustments I could see him making. Like we saw the Kevin Love substitution, which made sense. Like having more size out there against Aaron Gordon. But I'm not really sure as far as like what schematically Spoelstra can do, because like like I said last episode, the Jokic Murray like pick and roll is coming. Like Jokic out of the post is so dangerous. Maybe it's like trying to send more like stunts at Jokic, like obviously not fully double teaming him, but it's hard. Like if I was coaching against Jokic right now, I'd kind of be like looking at my other assistants, like, what do you got from me? Like I'm kind of all out of ideas at this point. But I don't know. What about you? You got any ideas?
The only thought was you kind of getting back to that game two game plan where you try to just limit his assists, as we already kind of alluded to, and that's a simple thing. But we see that when he has under 10 assists and the guys around him aren't fully contributing, and that was the big thing that everybody kind of talked at, and that was when he ended up talking about the untrained eye and all the kinds of we already alluded to. Right. But just really doing the best to let Jokic can be who he is and can dominate the middle and go at Bam and whoever you want to put down there. But you can't let Jamal also have a triple-double in the game. You can't also have Christian Braun also go for 15, as we pointed to. You got to find ways to control. When guys are as great as Jokic is, you kind of let them kind of be who they are and just figure out how to separate everybody else. That's what the Nuggets did in response to the Heat, as we already pointed to. And that's what I think is the game plan for the Heat as well, for the Nuggets, just trying to control what everybody else does. And then for his own team, the scheme seems to be somewhat in place. It just becomes as they already say, make or miss league, and guys just have to hit their shots, and they weren't hitting last game. So
I was gonna say,
we'll see how that plays out.
Offensively, I guess for Miami, Jimmy out of the post has been really good. Like out of the high post has been good, and then as well, whenever he gets a switch on him to where Aaron Gordon isn't on him, like he should be seeking to get to the rim because Aaron Gordon is the best defender they have on him. Michael Porter Jr. has some length, so he's decent, but I think whenever you have a guy that's not Aaron Gordon on you, like Jimmy should be looking to attack. And as far as like you're not able to slow down Jokic really offensively, but it will be taxing on Bam. But maybe I'm just seeking to attack Jokic defensively on that end, like tiring him out. His conditioning is like exceptional, but I'm just kind of thinking about like how the Lakers sought to put Steph Curry in a whole lot of actions, pick and roll actions, and tiring him out because they knew that he had to carry the load offensively, and it kind of tired him out by the end of the series.
Right.
Something like that where you're putting Jokic in a lot more of your offensive actions while he's a good defender, just seeking to wear him down because there's not a whole lot you can do to stop him on the offensive end. So
you can't wear him down like that. He is someone who clearly has got himself in shape and is ready for this moment and all of that. And while that may be the case, you can't slow down the game in general, and we can see how that plays. We see that Denver can definitely push the pace and could run with anybody in this league and definitely run with this Heat squad. So maybe, and though we pointed out the whole 110 thing in last game, which Denver got over and Miami was far under. I think that maybe slowing down the game and allowing that team to really just find its spots as best as possible. I think controlling the pace in that regard could be the solution there. So we'll see how that can be played out. Maybe posting up Jimmy and really taking the time with finding angles within that could be the solution. But trying to run and keep up with and playing the same game as Denver, it just works in Denver's favor. So I think they can find an alternative to that. So we'll see what Social cooks up for Game 4, and they'll be excited for that. That's really it for all the analysis type of stuff. As we get ready to go on the Game 4 predictions, we'll go ahead and jump into G's units. My last one, as Alex said, I actually went 2 or 3. The one I missed was the Jimmy Butler. I had under 25.5. He got over that, getting that up to 28 at the end of the game there. So got just short on that one. But getting better at least a little bit with these picks. So we'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
Prize Picks again had another free 4-pick entry for us to put in. So I got one in ahead of time here as we're still a day away from the game. Jokic for over 54.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He has filled up the stat sheet in every way, and I think he'll continue to do so. Gabe Vincent over 2 3-pointers made. I think he's someone who's going to have to put numbers on the board this game in order for the Heat to win. As I guess a quick fast forward, I think the Heat will do. Having the others step up as we believe they will. Gabe Vincent is a key part of that, and I think he'll find his spots, and he definitely get shots up enough to get over 2 3-pointers made. Kevin Love has got over 5.5 points in the last 2 games, I believe. And as someone who's in the starting lineup now, I think he can contribute enough to put up three shots over the game and get those in the basket, and definitely will do so. I think Kentavious Caldwell-Pope has gotten over 3 rebounds, and I think every game of this series so far as well. Though it seems like Jokic and Bam are the ones dominating the boards, guys find their way to at least get a few in there themselves. And KCP, who moves around a lot in that offense, gets a few rebounds and has gotten 3 or 4, I believe, in each of these games. So I took a chance to say he'll stay on trend and do so again. So we'll see how that plays out. Alec, any thoughts on the foreplay here?
I think Jokic is a safe bet. I like Gabe Vincent. I think if he's not in early foul trouble, I think he gets the shots up, and I think he makes them. I can see Kevin Love hit 2 threes. So yeah, and then KCP, maybe. I don't know that he's been big on the glass this year, but
not necessarily big, but he's gotten 3 or 4 in each game. So
maybe like it's a low number, so maybe
it's possible. So we'll see how it plays. But there'll be fun things to follow. You continue to follow G's units and like I said, tell me if you want or fade my picks, and you probably cash now. You've been doing so far. So good stuff there. In regards to the polls we've been doing, definitely been having fun. I like adding in the different things we talked about. One of the Van Gundy's poking that Tyler Herro's outfits that didn't happen in the game. I don't think I was watching the whole game.
No,
I
don't think
hear anything about that. And we also had, and you mentioned Zion to our jokes earlier. We didn't hear anything about Zion during the game. So there'll be fun things there. We'll find some new ones for Game 4. Maybe we'll Drake disrupt the song. Maybe we'll see a Drake appearance in something in a commercial, something like that, or something of the sort. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But there'll be fun things to look for in the game beyond what's on the court. So good stuff there. In regards to our winner for the polls for last game, one of our followers by the name of Jesse Natividad. Hopefully I say his name right. He got the most picks right there. So to him for being involved and active on the polls and all of that on IG. Definitely follow us on IG and stay tuned there. There's a lot of fun stuff, polls and reels and all kinds of stuff. We stay active with everything, and that's our most active platform at the moment. If you want to stay tapped in with. So good stuff all across the board there. And now we jump into Game 4. I'll go ahead and start with mine. I already kind of alluded to. I think Game 4 is a bounce back for all these other guys, Caleb Martin and others. I think the Heat find ways to put the ball in the basket beyond just Jimmy and Bam, and the Heat get the job done. Also, again, just poking at that 110 mark we keep pointing at. I think the Heat find a way to get back over that mark and get the job done, even with another valiant effort from Jokic and Murray there. And the Heat still find their way and get the job done in Game 4. You agree?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still hearing the Nuggets in 5 talks heat up once again after the Nuggets win Game 3. I still think this is a longer series than that. I do think Miami gets one at home. I do think they win Game 4. I think that the shooting will be a little bit better. I hope it's not that every other game for the shooting, like 30%, 50%, 30%, 50%. Right. But I do think they will shoot better in this game, and I don't think while I believe Murray is capable of having another big scoring performance. I don't think we get another 30-point triple-double from Murray. In succession, he might be able to do it again in the series.
Later on,
I don't think we get it in Game 4 once again. And not to say that Denver is going to take their foot off the gas, but I think Miami is going to be hungry for it. I think there will be some wrinkles that we weren't smart enough to find that Spoelstra and his team will find it and will be able to make adjustments. So I'm going to lean with the Heat again, though. I don't see them blowing them out in any of these games, so I think it's another 1-2 possession game
Yeah,
but they win.
should be fun there. Something that came to mind, and I posted it after the game. It was just the thought that momentum, in a way, in regards to game by game, is somewhat of a myth. We see that people talk about there are big shifts in each series, and then we thought there was going to be a big shift after game 2, and the Heat came out and fell flat, and Denver bounced back. There are obviously momentum plays a big part in individual games and how games things play out. And how they carry over is not really as dramatic as folks tend to seem. And I think that there is room for teams to bounce back. The Heat can come out and start off hot, and all of a sudden it's a whole new ball game, and they can reclaim the series as they say. But yeah, I don't think that how as impressive a performance as Denver played, it means now that the series is going to be over going forward, and that the Heat don't have any answer. I think they definitely still can bounce back and go over the hump, as we both I believe they will. So yeah, definitely tuned into that. I'm excited for it. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff to look forward to in this series and across the NBA and beyond. There'll be fun stuff that we'll get to. We're focused mainly on the NBA, on the finals right now. But as we said, it's kind of joked about in the beginning. There's plenty of other stuff going on that we'll get to at some point. NFL things going on. We're getting to the summertime and excited for that. MLB is is surely getting rolling, and we'll get more into that as well. And yeah, just excited to talk about it all. Any last words you want to get to, or is that it for you?
I saw DWADE in the background of that picture of like maybe that's the adjustment. You get DWADE to suit up for game 4.
Jersey.
Yeah, I mean we saw Haslam out there, so we got a 42-year-old on the court.
Yeah, they were down 30 though. That's different.
I know. But yeah, no, it's been a great series so far, and I believe we'll get another good game. Hopefully, Miami can pull it out.
Yeah, it's still been a fun series. We talked before the game, and it was like, this is a game you got to watch. This is a fun one, and the Nuggets blew out the Heat, and it was like, oh, actually, no. But no, it still was great because of the performance that we got in it. So then we start with your time, and hopefully you guys are tuned in for it. Numbers say they are, so I'm glad folks are giving this a chance and are enjoying what's going on there. And yeah, just excited for the rest of the series to see how it continues to play out. So yeah, good stuff there. No Lakers news of any major note. Kind of. I guess we'll see this at the very end. You want Chris Paul in the squad or no?
Oh yeah, you know my answer. Hell no. Hell no. Keep that man far away from my team, man. No way.
All right. Neither do I. So actually, I do just to see your reaction to see how that plays. So, yeah,
it'll be great for content, of course.
Yeah, right. We'll dive more into that at another point. But for now, that is all. I think it would tune in as always. This is your boy G and Alec here at 6300. Continue to like, rate, review, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff there. Really appreciate all the love, and we'll see you guys again very soon, man. Appreciate y'all. Sorry for that intro. I had to get that laugh out. We'll be back again after game 4, y'all. See y'all.
Peace.
Deuces.
The eaters.